In this video, the way I'm going to be defining those who are poor and those who are rich will be based on how they think, how they see things in the world, and how they act. These are the three main factors that distinguish whether people are poor or whether people are rich. I really don't care about how much money you are making at this point in time. What matters so much is, are you moving toward that financial freedom? What matters so much is how you think about life. What matters so much is how you act, the steps you take daily, and how you see the world. So the truth is that before you start pursuing a life of financial freedom, there must be something that is making you to pursue that lifestyle. Is it because you want to spend more time with your family? Is it because you want to be able to have money to sponsor that orphan child? Is it because you want to be able to have money to take care of your mother? Is it because you want to be able to have money to take care of your family? What is your why? What is your why? It is your why that will keep you going. And so, my overcomers, in this video, I'm going to be sharing some tough truths, some things that we need to change if we want to live that life of financial freedom. Some things that we need to change if we want to accomplish that goal. Some things that we need to change about our lives. My overcomers, I just want to welcome you again on board. Today is another beautiful day that the Lord has made, and today is another new video. Thank you so much for always being here. Thank you for liking the videos. Thank you for commenting, and thank you for all of your support. And if this is your first time here, I want to encourage you to subscribe and become a part of the family. A few years behind, I had the impression that people who are rich have actually inherited their riches. But it was until I started pursuing my journey to financial freedom that I realized that actually most of the people who are millionaires today are actually self-made millionaires. For example, a survey done by Fidelity actually found out that 86% of people who are millionaires today are actually self-made millionaires. My overcomers, what does this mean? It means that these people were like you and me. These people were people who decided one day that they wanted to change their life. You can't just become a millionaire in this world by chance. These are people who made up their minds that they wanted something different for their lives. These are people who were determined to work hard. These are people who were determined to pursue their dreams. These are people who were determined to change their lifestyle. And is that something that is possible for you and me? To get to that point of financial freedom is something that you have to actually be determined to work for. What makes the difference between those who are financially free, those who are rich, or those who are poor? According to Fidelity survey, 86% of people are actually self-made millionaires. They were not millionaires from the beginning, but they made themselves into that status. Why? Because they took action. Why? Because they decided one day that they wanted to change their life, and they started working toward that life of financial freedom. And some of our overcomers, the reason why I'm sharing this video with you is that it will help you to begin to evaluate your own self. Where are you standing? How do you think? How do you see the world? How do you experience the things around you? How do you use the resources that are in front of you? One thing that I always say is that all of us have 24 hours in this world, but how do we use it? The way we use it will determine where we are going tomorrow. So my overcomers, I'm going to be sharing some hard truths in this video. I want you to take it with a grain of salt. These are some of the things that are going to make you or break you as you walk through this journey called life. The first thing I want to talk about is that life is full of opportunities. So when something happens, a rich person will see an opportunity for growth. A rich person will see an opportunity for success, and they will take steps and work hard toward achieving their results. What do I mean by that? For example, on this channel, I've been sharing different ways that we can make money. How many people have actually decided to take those steps for themselves? How many people have actually started and pursued their dreams? You know, some of us have started, yes, but when we start, you begin to see obstacles, you begin to see failure, you begin to see risks, you see all the negativities. Is it true that negative things will happen? Yes. Even though these negative things are happening, they are not happening just to you. They are happening to many other people. Who are those who are able to pursue their dreams? Because they set a goal and they go for it. If you easily give up, my overcomer, then you will not be able to achieve any result. You have to set that goal, you see it as an opportunity and pursue it. Another thing that I can share with you is that, for example, children are so attached to social media today. Now, a poor person with a poor mentality who starts saying, no, I want to stop my children from watching social media. The truth is that it is not possible. The children are growing in this age in this time in which we are living, they have the opportunity to watch the social media, and there's no way you can completely stop them. But now a person with a rich mind will say, what can I do to create a little bit of impact in the life of these children? Can I begin to learn how to animate things that I can teach children, maybe spiritual things? Can I learn how to create games so that I can make Bible games that children can begin to play? So these are just different examples that I've shown you. So a rich person will see the opportunity in that space. A poor person will see obstacles. A poor person will complain. A poor person will see risks. No matter the opportunity that is in front of that poor person, they will prefer to stay in their comfort zone. So my overcomers, begin to see the opportunities that come your way daily and take advantage of those situations. Your goal should just be to create an impact, to change a life, to impact somebody. And as you begin to do it, my overcomers, you will become rich in the process. The next thing I want to talk about is the spending habit of the poor and the rich. You know, when it comes to rich people, the rich people make their money work for them. Rather, poor people spend their money as they have it. Let me give you an example. If a poor person gets a bonus at work, or if a poor person gets a job where they are being paid a little bit higher, or if they get any extra money, what happens? That poor person will think of how they can improve their quality of life now. They'll maybe buy a new car, maybe they'll change their home, maybe like whatever thing that they are going to do to make sure that the environment, people can see that their life has been upgraded. When it comes to a rich person, no matter how much profit that rich person makes, you will not see those glaring changes. They'll still drive the same kind of car that they are driving. They will not change their house because they make some huge amount of money. Yeah, if they upgrade their lifestyle, it's just because that is a necessity at that time. It's not because their money increased. So rich people would rather prefer to delay their gratification and invest that money so that that money can begin to work money for them. And so they'll prefer to invest in their future, so that after 5 years, 10 years, they are financially stable and they can make any expenditure that they want. When they had the small amount of money, they use it to invest for their future. They did not change their lifestyle because of the small increase of money that they made. The next thing I want to talk about is that poor people spend carelessly. You know, they have no plan for their money. They might know that, okay, at the end of the month, maybe I'm going to be able to earn $4,000. Yes, they know what they are earning. They know that they are going to pay their rent. But the other expensive, the detailed expenditure, they have no clue how they are going to spend that money. But rich people, they have a budget. They have plan for their income. Things don't take them by surprise. And so it's hard for them to miss like their payments. But poor people, they keep paying on credit cards. Why? Because they are not able to plan. They are not able to plan in such a way that they can pay those debts first. And so they keep wasting and spending extra money on credit card. But when it comes to a rich man, a rich person plans. They have a budget. They know exactly how much money is coming in. They know how much they are spending. And so things like their credit card, they plan for that. But a poor person might forget to pay their credit card and they start paying interest. And so that is money that is being wasted. One thing that you can do for your life is to create a budget. I have a budget on my website. You can check it out at defintamukong.com. You start planning your financial life, it's going to make a big difference. So another thing that I want to talk about is that rich people, they have a target in mind. Every time they want to achieve something, they focus on that target. And so they know that they want to achieve that thing. For example, let's say a rich person decides to start a business. That rich person have a target. Why am I doing this? What do I want to achieve from this? And so because they have that target, they work toward achieving that goal. But when it comes to a poor person, they start looking at all the obstacles. But poor people will instead look at the things that they should avoid. They will look at the negative part of it. And so because of that, they keep rotating on the same spot. So with rich people, they face problems, while poor people face their fears. When there is a problem, a rich person will face that problem. How do they face this problem? How can I solve this? For example, if you start a business, let's say you start a business and your Amazon account is closed. That's just an example. Now, a rich person will begin to ask themselves, how can I face this? How can I fix this? What can I do to make the changes? How can I face this problem? But a poor person, they will just be so afraid of their fear. Now, there is an obstacle. What do I do? Maybe they will say, oh,
it means that maybe low content book publishing is not for me. Maybe that's not something that I should do.
And they will not pursue that dream again. When problems comes our way, we need to push through. Don't give up, except it is something that you've tried and it's not possible. But don't give up so easily, my overcomers. The next thing I want to talk about is time management. The way poor people use their time and the way rich people use their time. You know, we all have 24 hours. This is something that is fixed to everyone. And how we use our time matters so much in life. If you look at poor people, they hardly have time. Why? Because their time is not even theirs. They don't have the time. They are always working so hard. And you know, even if they have any time, they want to pick more shifts at work to be able to make more money. And so their time is hardly theirs. They don't have that time to manage. And sometimes, let's say they even have some time that is available, you know what they do? They spend time on social media, following their favorite couples, following their favorite stars. And you know, it's true, we need those entertainment. We need to do those things. But it should not be at the expense of your own future. It should not be at the expense of your own life. It should not be at the expense of what God wants to do with you. It should not be at the expense of the lives that are hanging on you. And most of the time you hear poor people say time flies. Where did time go to? Have you ever heard those kind of statements? My overcomers, is because they did not plan. On the other hand, when it comes to rich people plan their life. They have a schedule for their life. They know exactly how they are spending their time. They have their time all scheduled. Time doesn't just pass by chance because they have a schedule. And if it happens that they have a free time, what do? They educate themselves. And so because their life is scheduled, they include fun activities in their life. And so they will instead always have time. They will always have time in their hands. They have the means to control their time. My overcomers, I will encourage you to schedule your life. One of the things that when I talk with most of you, and one of the things that I hear is, I don't have time. I don't have time. The reason why you don't have time is because you have not scheduled your time. It's because you don't know how to manage your time. By the time you take your time and schedule your time, you realize that you have 1 hour, 2 hours from here to there. If you don't analyze it, if you don't program it, you hardly have time. The next thing I want to talk about is about knowledge. You know, when it comes to poor people, they gather most of their information from places like social media. When it comes to knowledge, for example, financial knowledge, you know, poor people have very little knowledge on financial issues. The rich people, they really understand it. And the interesting thing is that most poor people, they gather their knowledge from social media. People you don't even know. People you don't know if they are speaking the truth to you. Because they are giving some kind of financial information, you gather it from them. But rich people, do you know what they do? They read books. And I'm going to be putting some of the books that have really helped me in the description box down below. When was the last time you read a financial book? When was the last time you read a book on time management? My overcomers, if we don't spend time reading books, how are we going to get that knowledge? We get it from social media and it might not be true. It might be true, but it might be segmented information. It's so difficult to have the complete information from social media like this. So I will encourage you to find time and start reading books. And not just any kind of books. Books from successful authors, books from people who are progressing, books from people who can bring it to your level so that you can follow. You know, even when you want to start a business, I will encourage you, if you can even buy a course, it is very important, my overcomers, because they will pour the knowledge, all the steps that you need to be able to get to where you want to go. Next thing I want to talk about is the hourly value. You know, if you look at a poor person will value their time based on the number of hours that they put to work. Why? Because that's how much they are being paid. They are being paid according to hours. And so, if you are being paid $20 an hour, $50 an hour, you are valuing your time based on that hour that you are being paid. However, when it comes to a rich person, they know that time and money has no direct correlation. For example, if you have an Etsy shop and you created one product, that product, you took a certain period of time and you created that product, right? When you put it online, that product can go viral and you can make so much money on that product. Maybe you took just 1 hour to make that product. And so you see that your time doesn't really correlate with the creation of that product or the money that you are making from that product. Another thing is, if you take your money and you invest it somewhere, right, that money will be growing money for you and it doesn't really relate with your time. And so that's how rich people value their hours. The way rich people will instead value their hour will be based on the projects they completed. If in the morning they had a certain number of projects that they want to complete, did they finish their projects? That's how they look at it. You know, did they have some goals for the day? What were their goals for that day? Did they complete their goals? That is how they value their hours. You know, a rich person will keep track of their progress, and so they'll be able to measure what is needed to still complete their projects. So they really don't value their hours based on the money that they get. Rather, it is based on the projects and the work that they actually complete. So the next thing I want to talk about is systems. When it comes to a poor person might have good intentions. A poor person might want to change their life. They might want to start a business, but immediately they face an obstacle, they are going to back up. They are going to give up. They are going to quit. But when it comes to a rich person, it is not like that, just as we've discussed subsequently. What happens is that a rich person has systems in place. So long as they are following their system and making small increments, making small changes, they know they are going somewhere. So if you don't have a system in place, you might get to an obstacle and then you think that you have failed. No. But so long as you are making small increase, small changes every day, as you have a system, you keep following that system, it will become a habit. And that habit, you will see that you begin to see the results that you desire to see. So creating a system, having a system in place, it is very important. You know, you can be working a full-time job, but if you create a system and say, okay, after work every day, maybe 1 hour before I go to bed, I'm going to do this. So long as you have that in place, every day, 1 hour before you go to bed, you do that, you will be surprised, my overcomers, how things are going to change because you have that system in place. The next thing I want to talk about is a source of income. A poor person will take any job, it doesn't matter. So long as that job is able to give them money, they are happy, they will take that job. But a rich man will not do that. A rich man will look at the opportunities that they will have through that job. A rich man will look at whether this job is actually able to take me to that goal. You know, a rich man has a goal in mind. Would that job be able to bring them to that place where they want to be in the future? How does this job align with my own goals? How does this job align with the things that I want to achieve in life? Is this job something I'm passionate about? How does it relate to my passion? A rich man will see a job as a career. Like it's something that is leading me to somewhere. I'm in this job because I'm going somewhere. But a poor man will see that job as a source of income. The poor man will see that job as, this is my life. This is where I earn my money. And it is a source of income for them. The next thing I want to talk about is our association, company. Most of the time, poor people will associate with poor people because they think the same. They act the same. They see the world the same. And rich people will also interact with rich people. And because the poor people are always among themselves, it is hard for them to change their lifestyle. It is hard for them to change their habits. It is hard for them to change their opinion. But when it comes to rich people create relationship intentionally. They create relationship with people that they can access knowledge from, people they can gain from, people they can learn from. You know, those relationships will create more opportunities for them. If you are poor, sometimes it's so hard for you to begin to create that relationship with rich people. But one thing that you can do is that rich people pour their knowledge in their books. And so you can get their books and grab all that knowledge and read that knowledge from that book. Even though you've never met with them, but you can read their books. And so, like I said before, I'm going to be linking some of the books I've read in the description box down below. So, my overcomers, one of the best investments you can give yourself is to invest in your life. And for you to be able to invest in your life, you can read books. When you invest in your life financially, you educate yourself. My overcomers, things are going to change in your life. From the time I started investing my financial knowledge, things have completely changed in my life because I took that step one day to learn who I am, to learn how to invest in my financial life. Things have completely changed. The way I think is completely different. The way I act is completely different. And so, my overcomers, I want to encourage you to begin to read books. Invest in your life. As I want to ask you a question. What can you do to become rich? What is that thing that has been on your mind and you are not able to take steps? What is that thing that you've started and you've abandoned? What is that thing that is in you so strong? What is that passion that is in you and you are not doing anything? My overcomers, it's time for you to arise. It doesn't matter whether you have money now or not. That is not the most important. The most important is, where are you going? Are you on your journey to financial freedom? What kind of mentality do you have? Do you have the mentality of the poor or the mentality of the rich. This is what would differentiate you, my overcomers. And so if you've watched this video up to this point, I want to thank you so much. And I pray that God is going to help you to take the actions that you need to take to be able to change your life. You know, when you are able to change your financial life, you will change many aspects. You will not be taking every extra minute that you have to work more money. You will not spend your weekend at work. You know, you will have more time for your family. You will have more time for your children. You will have more time for your God. You will have more time in your hands. You'll be able to manage your time. I want to thank you so much for watching this video to the end. If you are not yet an overcomer, I want to encourage you to subscribe and become a part of the family. Welcome on board. Love you so much. Bye-bye.
When time has passed, I owe you all, 'cause I could not bring myself to try.